This content is produced by DarkNetBreaker, a cybersecurity and dark web education brand. All videos, posts, and content are strictly for educational and awareness purposes only. We do not promote, support, or encourage any illegal activity. Our mission is to expose digital threats, protect online users, and educate the public about cybersecurity risks in the modern world. Stay ethical. Stay protected.
On October 1st, 2013, inside the quiet science fiction section of a San Francisco public library, a 29-year-old man sat working on his laptop. From that library chair, he was secretly operating a $1.2 billion global cartel. The federal agents observing him knew they had one shot. If he simply closed the laptop lid, local encryption protocols would instantly engage, locking out investigators forever and permanently destroying the evidence of his crimes. Catching a digital ghost requires finding them in the physical world during the narrow window their defenses are down. Back in 2011, Ross Ulbricht sought to create an economic experiment entirely free from government oversight and systemic force. To build this frictionless market, he relied on the Tor network. By routing data packets through multiple proxy layers, the system completely obscured the origin and destination of its users. He paired this anonymous routing with Bitcoin.
Integrating a decentralized digital currency meant financial transactions were suddenly untethered from traditional banking and state control. This specific combination of encrypted routing and decentralized currency allowed absolute anonymity to be weaponized for commerce. The platform, known as Silk Road, experienced a massive expansion in June 2011. After a Gawker article published its details, the user base boomed tenfold in a matter of days. This explosive growth quickly drew the attention of lawmakers. Prominent politicians publicly demanded that multi-agency federal task forces hunt down the site's creator. To manage the mounting pressure and exert control over his growing empire, Ulbricht adopted the pseudonym Dread Pirate Roberts, actively building a cult of personality among his users. As the site expanded, the former peaceful idealist grew increasingly callous, detaching himself from the real-world humanity of the people he dealt with online. As we can read in this section of his federal indictment, prosecutors detailed how Ulbricht allegedly used the site's untraceable wealth to order hits on at least 6 people, seeking to protect his users' identities from blackmailers. A platform built explicitly to eliminate systemic coercion ultimately required a dictator willing to order executions to maintain its existence. Traditional police work and brute force tracking failed completely against Tor's architecture. Investigators had to stop attacking the encryption and start looking for historical human errors. IRS investigator Gary Alford scoured the early internet for the first mentions of the Silk Road URL. He isolated a user named Altoid promoting the site on a forum. Alford tracked Altoid to a programming forum where the user provided his personal email, rossulbricht@gmail.com. Military-grade encryption is highly effective, but it cannot protect an operator from the permanence of their own early internet history. Which brings us back to the San Francisco library. Undercover agents visually confirmed that Ulbricht's physical movements perfectly matched the login times of Dread Pirate Roberts. Arresting Ulbricht away from his computer was out of the question. If the laptop went to sleep, the Silk Road server's local encryption keys would lock. They needed a physical distraction. 2 undercover agents positioned themselves behind Ulbricht and staged a loud, aggressive lover's quarrel to break his focus. As Ulbricht turned his head toward the commotion, a 3rd agent launched, seizing the open laptop, and immediately copying the live data from the mastermind admin panel. In a fraction of a second, a physical exploit bypassed millions of dollars of digital security. The federal court handed down a severe judgment. Ulbricht was convicted and received a double life sentence without the possibility of parole. This charging document outlines the sheer scale of the financial operation. To strip the cartel of its treasury, the FBI confiscated 144,000 bitcoins directly from Ulbricht's computer. His legal journey ultimately concluded more than 11 years later when he received a full presidential pardon in early 2025. The state reasserted total control, seizing the wealth and dictating the freedom of the man who tried to circumvent it. While the FBI successfully dismantled the Silk Road website and its founder, they failed to kill the underlying concept. The immediate launch of successor sites proved Ulbricht's blueprint permanently franchised the dark web. Shutting down one market simply triggered the birth of dozens more. Modern dark markets continue to rely on flawless cryptographic technology,
but they are always operated by flawed human beings. There is no such thing as perfect digital anonymity, because a system is only as secure as the human hubris that built it.